how do we optimize a business? Now, you've been doing it since 16. And then is that how you've accumulated all of this experience and then threw it into strategic solutions and development?
Yeah, that was a long journey, but you had to figure it out, right? I mean, there was no way about it. If this was something I wanted to do, I had to figure it out. And so what I realized later, much later, like, decades later, 2 decades later, is that I am really, really good at problem solving. Although that partly comes from, originally I was an engineering and physics student,
Wow.
major. And so engineering, you're figuring out how to design things with a particular result. Physics is how things work. Economics is literally optimization. And so I had all this quantitative knowledge. And how do I use that? I mean, I didn't conscientiously say, how do I use it? I just happened to be good at it naturally. I didn't realize that this was actually a strength because, they always say, what's your unique, selling strength? I did not know this. This is just something I had to do and I was good at it. And so people, even with Monster Beverage, it's, they brought me in for one particular project and I was like, hey, you didn't ask me, buddy, but here's a proposal because you need to do this and here's why. And they had no idea. And so then they were like, that makes sense. Okay, let's do it. So there's things that I see that I'm like, you can totally make an impact in your business, your operations, your finances, your marketing, by just little tweaks here and there. And at the end of the day, how do we make the biggest impact with the least amount of resources and money that you have to do, have to input.
Yep.
Because that's where it really makes a difference. Yes, you can spend 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 in marketing costs, but if you don't have to, then why do it? Right? Yeah. What are those other things that we can do?
Yeah. Yeah. And we get so caught up as entrepreneurs with shiny objects. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, okay, that's the next thing, or that's the next thing. But working on yourself internally, working on your business internally, and sort of putting up a little bit of blinders until you're settled and set and structured might be the way to go about it. You say, explosive profits without adding costs. Can you talk about what does that mean?
Absolutely,
you alluded to it a little bit just a second ago.
So here's the thing, when we as business owners want to grow, we often think of, okay, well, we're going to increase our revenue, right? Naturally. Yep. And then when we increase our revenue, we naturally we're going to increase our marketing costs. And yes, that's true, but that's such a small piece of the growth puzzle, which so many people don't either understand or recognize or accept or whatever that, sometimes it's just, you don't know what you don't know. And I get that, right? I've been there. Yep. We all have been there.
Yep.
But there's, 5 other areas that really make up the majority of your growth. Reducing costs is one, streamlining processes, optimizing your existing systems, because so many times people are like, hey, spend $50,000 and get a new system. No, you don't need that most of the time. So optimizing your business systems. And then there's what's called business development, which I define as, there's 2 different ways. And this is so key. One, how do you create more revenue with your existing clients without getting new clients, which means no marketing costs, right?
How do you ascend what you have?
Yes.
Right?
Yep. And also similar to that is, what kind of products and services do you already have that you can package in a different way, market in a different way, sell in a different way, bundle in a different way, smaller, larger, bulk, trial size, whatever, even this comes with services too, right? So that's another piece. Again, no cost involved. You already have everything you need. And then there's other, business development in the sense of, okay, well, what new products and services can we provide that are still part of your core products and services? Yeah. And those, like, instead of going outward, this is weird to say, you're going inward to find the answers. Yeah. And that's just like, it's not, I don't think, it's not obvious. Right. Yeah. You just want bigger, better, shinier, faster. Right.
It's funny because it's not obvious, but it is obvious. Right. Like it's both, you can't see it and others can see it, or Andie can see it and draw it out of you. I was just literally, and you may find this too, but when you're driving, when you're walking, when you're exercising, when you're taking a shower, on all those moments, for me, that's where the genius comes, because
absolutely,
I'm slowing the heck down and I'm not trying to
yes,
I got to do it.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
so what happened was just the other night, I was thinking to myself, we're a social media marketing agency. And so we have packages that I've come to realize because of experience and because of what my customers and clients are telling me that they really need. We have these packages designed. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, but this little portion of the package can be its own product. Oh, wait.
Absolutely.
So last night I came up with three different
yes,
offers.
I love it. You're giving me goosebumps.
I did it.
I love it. Yes. It's exactly the same thing. Yes. And even more so, and this may or may not relate to you specifically, but you're good at what you do, right? And so the average person is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps lower than that. So what you thinking that you're bringing as an expert, and you are, there may be some really smaller, considerable. And I let me tell you, I'm saying this from my own experience, and it's super embarrassing, but it's true. Is like, what on God's earth is a hashtag, and how do you use it, and what does it mean, and so I mean, obviously, in the last year, I've learned a lot of things, but I mean, I was super still in the basic levels of social media, just because, partly because of my age and partly because the misconceptions. So there's so much specifically with digital marketing that I was going to talk to you about, but not right now, but that you can cater to older people, like 50 and older. Yeah. I mean, I was on a call yesterday and the guy was like, I don't even know what he wasn't talking to me. He was talking to not even a marketer, but anyway, our publicist. Yeah. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking, like, you're talking Greek to me. And I'm like, oh, he needs 101. Trust me, I know where that, I remember this, right? But going back to, hey, sometimes even dumbing it down is even more powerful and profitable. And you don't even need to put that much extra work into it.
Thanks for watching Practical Talk on YouTube. Listen to full episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And while you're there, be sure to hit that subscribe button.